Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Broken Berean. And I'm here to talk about a project I did a long time ago and actually uploaded to my YouTube channel over a year ago. And it was just kind of a whim project, and just kind of basically someone I knew was curating a bunch of things for a small library, and he came across this collection of vinyl, of 6 vinyls with sermons from a former pastor. And I was like, oh, that is cool. I was like, could I borrow them? I've got a record player at home, and I'd love to, hear what's on these. And he said, sure. And I tried, and I cleaned them up a lot, and I listened to them, and I found them very interesting. Being that this collection was, I believe, I should look in the notes, somewhere between the 40s and 60s. The collection didn't give an exact time of date for the sermons collection, but it was just a collection of 6 of this pastor's sermons, and I found it very interesting, especially for this time. There was a lot of conflict with race, and surprisingly, from a small Texas town, this pastor was very anti-racist and very, very supportive of the civil rights movement. And I was astounded, and I found it very interesting. And a lot of his theology is very well done, and I was just intrigued by preserving these sermons. And what I've come here to do is ask a favor. Because last weekend, I was in South Texas again, and I was just visiting I was in another small town, a very small town, and just visiting a lot of these little shops, these little curio shops and things, and almost every single one of these shops had a little section of vinyl. And it was, the so-and-so Glee Club does the best of the Beatles, and, albums I've never heard of, and a few artists I have, but they were really in bad shape. But they were usually like 4 or 5 little milk carton crates of vinyls, and I was going through them just seeing, and it clicked, and it hit me. It's like, I haven't done anything like this since this project. And the problem is a project like this I thought might be a once in a lifetime thing, and I better do it. Now I found myself looking through all these bins, looking for anything that was sermon related, anything that might have that. And this wasn't a huge thing that was done way back when. But some churches were big enough and had the technology enough to do this. Now, I kind of want to do this again. Now, as part of whatever may come of this, I'm simply asking to anyone out there, if you've got vinyl of a sermon from a pastor or church or whatever like that you want digitized, I'd like you to reach out to me. brokenberean@gmail.com. And my channel's not monetized, so I'm not making any money off of this, and I don't know how logistically this would work, because there's a lot of people that are watching these videos that are nowhere near me, and I get that. And we can figure out, if you've got something, we can figure out the logistics doing this. And I was kind of thinking right before I started this video that I'd made a few posts on my personal social media asking, friends, hey, if you got anything. And then I was like, well, what about cassettes? Cassettes were probably a lot more prolific. So if you've got sermons that are on cassette that aren't digitized, please reach out to me. I don't have the equipment to do that, but I think I only need like $100 to get it. You know, to buy a USB cassette player. I think last time I looked, they're around $100, maybe 60, somewhere in that area. So it's not a huge inconvenience to me, but this is something I want to do to preserve the past. This is just kind of one of those side passion projects that I have, and I never really thought about after I posted these videos, and I'll put the link to this playlist if you haven't looked into them, but I kind of want to do more. I do, and it's just a thing out there because we get a glimpse of the past. We get to see the theology that these pastors held during their time and things like that. We get to hear on this vinyl. I cut them out, but I do have the original clips. There are some about 10, 15, maybe even 30 seconds on a couple of these that had the actual choir singing recorded before the sermon started or after the sermon ended, of just a hymn. And the quality of that is not good because it was the crowd singing and coming to that central mic that was being recorded in front of the pastor. So that's not, it was definitely not good to upload, but I found it really interesting. You know, you could hear them, but it didn't sound good. It was a single focus mic, not a omnidirectional mic to pick up vocals like that. So I get it. I don't know logistically how this would work, but I would like to reach out to those people that may watch this or may be interested in this to contact me. And I don't want it to cost you anything. This is for me. This is a side passion project that I would like to do. And honestly, I don't know. I may make this video and hear nothing from anybody, or post a comment below saying, hey, I've got this. Is this something you'd be interested in? And I just want to preserve church history as a whole. And this is from a small town in Texas that was Southern Baptist. I'm not pigeonholed to any denomination right now on this type of project. I want to see what's out there. I want to get a hold of what I can to preserve it. Now, if it is, I'm gonna digitize it and put it up. If I find someone is preaching something that is abhorrently heretical, I will put that as a warning screen, as a notification before that sermon starts to let people know. But I mean, it's got to be pretty out there. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, this one talks about paedo-baptism. No, I'm not going to post that. No, I want to post this regardless of denomination so we get a glimpse. So if you've got something like that, please reach out and we'll figure out logistics. And sometimes it'll just be like, yeah, this is great. Or I'm from Texas, so I mean, if you're within like 5 hours of me, I'll make the drive. Some people are like, I'm like, yeah, I've literally driven 3 hours to go eat dinner. No joke. There's a place I went to eat dinner once, and it was like 3 hours away, and I was like, "You really gonna drive 3 hours to eat dinner?" Yes. Why? Because it's good. That's Texas. If you grew up in Texas, you're used to driving. So if you're in a drivable distance, and I literally say under 6 hours, I'll come pick them up from you, 100%. But this is just one of those things that I think not everyone's doing. Not many people are thinking about it, and they've got tapes or vinyl just sitting in their parents' or grandparents' collections, just sitting there. And once those are thrown away, those are going to be gone. And I don't even think these are making it to thrift shops. I think when I got back, I went to all the thrift shops in town looking for more this past week, and honestly, didn't find a thing, which surprised me. Not one, not even anything close to this. And so I don't think I can find more of this type of media out there myself. I probably can't, but I cannot find enough. So if this is something you've got or you want to, I will collect it, clean up the audio. I will clean the vinyl, clean the cassettes, digitize them, and post them, and you'll have full access to it. All I'm asking is the chance to preserve a piece of the past and to post it for other people to see and listen to. That's all I'm asking. And it's a weird request, and this is probably going to bite me in the tail for, giving out where I am. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe not. But my goal is is to preserve this part of church history that may be lost to the ages. And when I did this project, I had a few people that were like, "Oh," I posted on my social media, and one lady I didn't know posted. It's like, "Oh, he was my pastor." Really? And we weren't friends. It was just a public post on social media, and she was like, "Oh, this was my pastor. I remember him." And I'm like, "Wow, this is cool." And it's, some people out there may see these and have moved somewhere else across the country. I believe she was in North Carolina, I believe. And this pastor only preached in Texas. From my research, he only preached in like 4 churches in Texas. So she was definitely from Texas and moved to North Carolina. So I thought that was cool. So this is just for us to understand and to listen, and for edification, for education, and just simple preservation of the past. And I don't know how to get a hold of this otherwise, except for just asking for help. And if this is something that you are interested in, I'd like to reach out. So please, you can click on my link, send me an email, post a comment. I don't expect anything from this at all, but I would be remiss if I didn't ask. You can't get what you don't ask for, right? So all I'm asking is your help in preserving some of the past of church history. That's it. So please listen to these sermons. You might find some interesting things in these sermons. You might find something that helps you. You might find, just to educate yourself, what was going on in the 40s, 50s, and 60s in a small town in Texas. How they thought, how they believed. And this is history. This is religious history. This is church history. This is theology. This is education and edification. So this is just my ask. And who knows, maybe I can get more of this. Maybe I can't. But I have it in my head that I want to try now. I want to try more. I want to try to preserve more. And if you've got anything out there, please feel free to contact me. I don't know any other way to do more without asking for help, because this is a huge world, and I don't know where I can find it. For me to be in the right place at the right time to find this one vinyl or one cassette to preserve is not easy. Next summer, when the garage sales start kicking up right after Easter, I'll be going garage sales, estate sales, trying to find more. But like I said, I may come up with nothing, absolutely nothing. So the best bet is to ask for help. So if you're out there, please share this video out there to someone you may know. Ask your parents, your friends, anybody that might have this. I'm willing to. I'm not a rich man. I guarantee you I am not a rich man. Quite the opposite. But this project, this little earworm in my head telling me to preserve more of sermons and church history has gotten in my ear, and it's not going away. So this may cost me a lot in shipping. Who knows? Definitely more in cleaning solutions, maybe some more equipment. This may cost me a lot, but I'm willing to make that sacrifice to continue to preserve church history. And whether you believe or not, whether you're a Christian or not, this gives an insight into American history right here. This specifically gives an insight into small town Texas history. So this is something I kind of feel passionate about, and I really want to do this. But this video may be the last one I make on it. That could be the very, very truth. But I just have to put it out there just in case I can preserve one more sermon, one more pastor's voice for the future. If I can do that, it's worth it to me, because simply put, I think it needs to be done. And there is no monetary value in doing it. There's not a company out there that is collecting all these, digitizing them, publishing them, selling them. I'm not doing that at all. Free. Come, please, listen. It does nothing for me. I am making zero money, zero off of this. In fact, through this project, through future projects like this, it's going to cost me substantially, probably. So it doesn't matter. I believe this is a sacrifice I need to make to help preserve church history. And if you're able to help me, you have my deepest thanks. And we will figure out logistics and how for me to get a hold of it, digitize it, and put it up. If you have stuff that is digitized like this, and this kind of hit me just all of a sudden, if you have stuff that's older like this, that you've already digitized in the past, but you don't have a platform to put it, please send it to me. I will publish it and continue to publish it. And we can work together to figure this out. I just want to preserve this as church history and as history in general. So if it's out there, please contact me. I'd be over the moon if you give me the opportunity to do this. If not, I will keep doing this on my own and hopefully finding those diamonds in the rough somewhere. So thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me the chance to help preserve our church history for the future. So until next time, my friends, as always, I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.